So I keep screwing up, so I keep stopping and starting. That's okay. I think that's yoga too, right? It's not like, the purpose of yoga is not to find this like incredible place of nirvana where nothing ever happens wrong and you never make mistakes. It's just to find peace within the chaos. There's always going to be chaos. You're always going to screw up. There are always going to be mistakes. It's finding the peace inside of you to go, okay, I'm good. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, dive forward. This time you're going to bring your left foot to the back of the mat for a low lunge. Drop the back knee down, stretching up for the Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. Lifting up out of the sides of the body and letting the hips drop forward. Then bring the hands down. Gonna lift the back leg up for this pyramid pose. So bring the right hip back and the left hip forward. See if you can think about those two things happening at the same time as you pour your head over your straight legs. And breathe. There's a really nice release in the neck happening here too. And then we're going to come into the revolved triangle. So you can have your left hand either side of your right foot. Having it on the outside of the right foot is a little bit more intense in the twist. So you find what makes sense for you, and you can always try one side and then go to the other. No big deal. So hand to either side of the foot. Right hand comes to that crease, that hip crease, so you're pulling the right hip back as you bring the left hip forward. And as you bring that right hip back, you can open up into this twist, pressing into the mat with your hand or your fingertips, whatever's on the floor, and stretching the right arm up. Revolved triangle. Keep bringing that right hip back and left hip forward. See if you can make these tiny little adjustments that really change the entire pose. Then we're going to come into revolved half moon from here. So bending the front knee, look down, bring the hand just a little bit in front of the foot. Press into the hand and the foot to lift the left leg off the mat. Flex the back foot, open across the chest. You can keep your gaze down, or you can look to the side, or you could look up if you really want to mess with your balance like I just tried to. And then we're going to turn this over to the other side for a regular Ardha-Chandrasana, a regular half moon. So right hand down, you're going to open up the hip on the left side and open the left arm up. So keeping that foot flexed, like you're stepping on the wall behind you and reaching up with the left fingertips. And very gracefully and gently, of course, we're going to bend the front knee and step right back into Warrior Two. It wasn't so bad. Bend the front knee, spread the arms out, flip the front palm up and back for a peaceful warrior. Reaching for that left calf with your left hand, come back to Warrior Two. Straighten the front leg, we're coming into triangle pose. So hips, right hip stretching back, reaching forward, 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 and letting the right hand drop below your knee. Reaching up with your fingertips, your left fingertips towards the sky, the right fingertips towards the floor. If your hands are sort of, your right hand's kind of like hanging out on the mat, lift it up and even off of the mat, just to make sure you're really zipping up that core, as I talked about before. So zipping in and up will hold you stable throughout all of your poses. Come back up. And then cartwheel the hands down and take a vinyasa. So back to downward facing dog, forward to plank, down to your belly, up for cobra or up dog really at this point, and back to downward facing dog. Good. Then we're going to take a jump to the top of the mat. Bend your knees and hop, fold over straight legs. I'm going to face you guys. And then roll up to stand. Cool. Okay. So, balancing on your left foot. Hands on hips. Right knee bends. And we're just going to extend and bend the right knee a few times. Inhaling as you extend and exhaling as you bend. All right, I think that's enough, right? And then grab hold of the ankle of the right foot with your right hand. We're going to come into dancer's pose. So left arm reaches up. Reach forward with your hand as you kick the right foot into your right hand. So there's a reaching forward and a pressing back for this back bend. And breathe. Come forward. Hang on. Keep the arms up. Right knee bent. Right ankle on top of left knee and sit down into this number 4 shape. Oh boy. And there goes the balance. So sitting down into the number 4, you can bring your hands at prayer and just sit down as much as you can. This is just a huge opening for your right hip. Good. Bring the right knee off of that left leg and we're going to come right into a standing split. So left hand finds the floor and right leg finds the sky. You can stay right here with your hands on the floor, or you can try your balance. So one hand to the ankle, or maybe both hands to the ankle, and just play around. And bring the right foot back. Fold over straight legs and come up. And we'll do the other side. So hands on hips, bend the left knee and just extend and bend. Extend the leg and bend the knee. Inhaling and exhaling. Just go at your own pace. One more time. Bend the knee back. Take hold of your ankle or the top of your foot. I like to flex my foot here as I hold on to the outer edge of the ankle. And then right arm stretches up, stretching forward and kicking the foot into the hand. That is what will really open things up for you in this pose, the kicking of the foot. Ooh. Both arms come up, number 4ing the feet. Left ankle on top of right knee. Hands at prayer. You can look down at the ground and just sit as much as you can. Sit down as deeply as you can. Just feel the opening in the left hip, and then we'll go right into standing split. So reaching the left leg for the sky and trying to bring your nose toward your leg. It's not going to touch it. That is okay. And then again, play with your balance. Maybe you want to bring one hand to your ankle. Maybe you want to bring both hands to your ankle. Just keep reaching your head down and your nose towards your shin. And then both feet next to each other. Fold forward. Good. So we're going to come into a crow pose from here, which is an arm balance. I'm just going to stay facing you. So your hands are right in front, in line with your feet, probably like a foot or so in front of your feet. And then bend your knees a lot. And you're really either gluing your, what I like to think of as gluing your knees into your armpits. So you can either knee literally into armpit, or you can think about gluing the back of your arm with the top of your shin. So either one. Think of gluing. And make sure your elbows don't splay out to the side, so you want to keep everything sort of parallel. Come forward, and then as you're pressing into the mat with your hands, you can lift one leg, see how that feels, And you can lift the other leg. So you're looking in front of you. Do not look at your hands. You're looking in front of you. You look at your hands, you probably will fall on your head. Just see if you can breathe here for 3 rounds of breath. Last breath in and out. Just come back to your feet, fold over your legs, and rise up to stand. Great. Let's come down onto your tush into a boat pose. So you're just sort of sitting into the back of your sitting bones, and then your legs can be parallel to the mat, and you can keep your hands behind your thighs like this. So sort of phase 1. Phase 2, arms reach out beside you. You can totally stay here. Phase 3, straighten your legs. Breathe. Everything will be shaking. That's totally fine. I'm totally shaking right now. That's called the muscles working. That doesn't mean you're nervous. And then inhale, cross your hands over your chest and come down almost to the mat, but not. And then come back up. We're gonna do that a few more times. Coming down, coming back up, whoop. Come back down, reaching up. Last time, come down almost to the mat, but not all the way. Come back up, bend your knees. That felt good, right? Hands reach behind you, fingers pointing forward. Come up for a reverse table. So pressing the hands and the feet into the mat. Inhale, come up. Exhale, let your head and your neck go. Ha. Inhale, one more time. Exhale. So as you come out of this, just for fun, swing your hips down and back, and don't let anything touch the mat, just your feet and your hands. Come back up, inhale, exhale, swing. Whee. 2 more times maybe. Inhale, swing back. I know, it's fun. Your shoulders and your arms will thank me. And then plop. That was a lot, right? It was. Okay, let's take some back bends. Let's roll all the way down. So knees are bent. You're gonna come into a bridge pose. So feet are close to the tush. Knees nice and bent, pointing towards the ceiling. Yeah. Okay, I guess we have to do this, right? Why am I out of breath? Okay, so take a big inhale and exhale. And then one more inhale. And as you exhale, lift your hips towards the sky. Reach, reach, reach. You can shimmy your shoulders under you. You can interlace your hands behind you and press the interlaced fingers into the mat, shoulders into the mat, pressing all parts of the feet into the mat to lift the hips up for bridge pose. Stay here and breathe. If you want to go a little bit deeper with this bridge, you can walk your right foot to the center and then lift the left leg up. You can just point and flex the foot here and then press into the right foot a little bit more and come down. Switch, so the left foot comes to the center and right foot stretches up. And break it down. And then lower the hips and all the back, all the way to the ground. So bring your feet to the outer edges of the mat and just let your knees fall towards each other and rest on each other for a moment. Bring your right hand to your belly left hand to your heart. Feel that amazing rhythm, natural rhythm of your heartbeat and your breathing. Your whole system doing its job and working without you having to tell it to do that. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? While you've been busy doing yoga, your body's been taking care of itself. We're going to come into one more back bend. So if you want to keep up with this bridge pose, you can take another bridge, or you can come into a full wheel. So bridge is really known as half wheel, and there's also full wheel, which is confusing because in gymnastics, this full wheel in yoga is actually called bridge. So anyway, we're going to stick with yoga definitions for today. So if you're going into wheel, so the legs are the same, the hands reach up like you're pressing on the ceiling, and then bend your knees and bring your hands to either side of your head, so right next to your ears, and then press into hands and feet equally. You really want to try to keep your arms straight if you can. And there is a tendency to want to come up on your tiptoes, which makes it just slightly easier. But you really want to keep your heels down to get the full expression of the pose. Let your head go and breathe. I wonder if we can number 4 shape here. Let's try it, just for giggles. Left ankle on top of right knee. I don't know, I've never tried this before. Since we were in the number 4 shape before, I just thought of it. Okay, that was fun. Come down. Are you ready? Good. Let your legs windshield wiper from side to side, just letting the lower back release. And then speaking of number 4, we're going to come back into that number 4 shape again, but this time we're on the mat. So let's do the left ankle on top of the right knee. And then lift the right leg up. You're going to interlace your hands behind the right thigh, or you could also interlace them behind or in front of the right shin and the knee. Wherever you feel comfortable. The point is to bring the right leg towards you and the left knee away from you. You can always use that left elbow to kind of press the left knee gently away from you. Also, press your back into the mat. Keep that lower back on the mat. And relax your neck and shoulders. Okay, so drop the hands. Keep the legs exactly as they are and just bring the right foot down to the mat. So we're going to bring the left foot down to the mat. Now you're on the outer edge of the right foot and the whole left foot, right? And then see if you can take your right hand and hold on to that left ankle. So you might need to scoot yourself a little bit. And then you're bringing the ankle towards you and then pressing the left bent knee away from you. Oh. This is a really nice hip opener. Could not do hip openers enough, right? Especially as women, I swear. Do we not keep all of our stress in our hips? Just a couple more breaths here. Just enjoy it. The more you stay in these poses, the more you can kind of feel the dropping in and feel the softening and feel the muscles going, oh, I don't want to, I don't want, okay. Like you can actually, I can feel that right now in my left piriformis area, that whole muscle, the left hip, outer hip. There's this tensing up at first, and then you can literally feel the letting go. It's very cool the longer you stay in these poses. And we're so impatient that we forget sometimes to stay and feel. So your job is to feel all the feels. I say this all the time. Our goal in life is not to be happy. That's not my goal, at least. My goal is just to feel everything and to learn from everything, even the pain and even the bad stuff. Okay, come back up. Oof, we'll do that on the other side. So right ankle on top of left knee, open up the right knee to the side. And you're gonna interlace your hands behind the left thigh, or you can wrap them in front of your left shin, like right where the knee is. So wherever you are, bring the left thigh towards you and the right leg away from you. Keep the lower back on the mat. Relax the shoulders down. Let go of the tension in your face. See if you can bring the left leg towards you just a little bit more as you bring the right leg away. One more breath. Exhale and left foot down. So keeping the legs exactly as they are, and we're just gonna let the right foot drop to the floor. You're on the outer edge of the left foot. You might need to scooch that a little bit. And then take your left hand, hold on to the right ankle. And then press the right knee away from you as you open up the hip here. You can close your eyes as you just melt into this pose. And noticing how one side feels much different than the other. One side is more open than the other. One side is easier to manipulate, maneuver than the other. That is totally normal. One more breath in through the nose and out the mouth. Come back up. And let's bring both knees into your chest. Rock gently left and right. And come into happy baby. So grabbing the outer edges of both feet, bending the knees towards the floor, and pressing the low back into the mat, right? So try not to let the lower back off the mat, and you can rock gently from left to right. Sometimes it feels good to straighten one leg and then the other. And you can open both legs, so straddle. You can still be holding the outer edges of the feet. You can hold on to the toes. Or you can even just put your hands on your inner thighs, but you really want to, again, keep the lower back on the mat. And knees together, and let's rock up to sit. So you can take a couple of rocks up and back if that feels good on your spine. So we're going to take a forward fold called, I'm going to face you guys, Tadasana, which is like a diamond, making a diamond shape with your legs. So Baddha Konasana, your feet are really close to your body. Tadasana, they're a little bit further apart. So again, making this diamond shape with the legs. So soles of the feet pressing together. Take a big inhale and get really long and really long in the spine. I don't know what word I was trying to find. And then reach forward, coming forward. And then the last thing to happen is your head drops down. So it doesn't matter how far down you go, this is a reaching forward.
It's a forward fold, forward bend. Just enjoy this going inward. Sort of a closing. We've opened up, we've moved around, we've twisted, we've revolved. And now it's time to go in. Close the practice. Quiet the mind. Quiet the body. And inhale, come back up slowly. I thought we would end in legs up the wall today. It's up to you if you want to just lie back into Shavasana, you can do that. If you want to come into legs up the wall, I'll just show you the easiest way to get into it is to line yourself up along the wall. And then put one hand on the wall and sort of pivot your body, your legs up. So, hopefully you can see me. Like that. So the only thing touching the wall are the heels of your feet. This is a really super, super relaxing pose and an excellent pose to get into before getting in bed. You can feel all the blood draining away from your feet, which at the end of the day can feel so incredible. Let's put your right hand on belly and left hand on heart. Just notice the natural rise and fall of your belly and the rhythm of your heartbeat. Knowing that all you have, or all you ever need, is already inside of you. So there's this tendency when things get crazy and stressful and awful to reach out or to numb ourselves or to do something to take the edges off. And the good news is all you need, you already have inside of you. You have this incredible thing called your breath, which you can manipulate and help you calm, help you focus, help you feel peaceful. So we're gonna end here in legs up the wall. Take as much time as you'd like in this Shavasana. And thank you for showing up today. Because really, that's all you ever have to do